1.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Converted Podcast, the podcast about the guild on Airy Peak Convert to Raid. With you as always is Salmisis the Shaman, Belschnickel the Priest,
and Cuddles the Brewmaster.
It's about to get real.
Welcome to episode 101 of the Converted Podcast, the podcast for the Convert to Raid Guild on Airy Peak, US. Today is March 20th, 2017, and we would like to thank you for tuning in to this extra special episode of our show. I am Cuddles, and with me this evening we have Navox.
What's up, guys?
And Sal.
In this episode, we have Tamen from Threat Level Midnight. Navox is in the house. Turarts is here with the guild haps, and we have a surprise coming for you, kind of at the end, a little bit later on. Yay!
Yay.
What is up, chat room? Do us a favor and tweet us your converted shoutouts, and we will read them at the end of the show. It's going to be at converted_CTR, at converted_CTR. Nav, what have you been up to, Bay?
Oh man, cause this past week I've been leveling up my pally to 110. Finally got a max level, and been gearing them out. You know, now I'm working on Shaman. Oh, and also our raid team Alt-tastic is no more. So yeah, our raid team Alt-tastic is no more. We are now back to Boats and Hosen. That our raid group's back. So
and you're doing mythics, aren't you?
No. We're not doing mythics. No, we're back, but
I called it.
We're not doing mythics. We're still doing heroic, and we just decided. You know, I think people we're advertising for our group, and I think people were like, I don't want to join that group with a bunch of alts. And it's like, I'm not interested in doing a bunch of alt stuff. So we changed our name. We got some more people actually right off the bat. And now we're like, we were struggling at like last week. We were struggling at 5 of 10 in Nighthold. Now we're like 7 of 10. We got in there, killed some more bosses. Didn't realize how trivial some of these bosses actually were. And so we're making some progress in there. But, you know, that's it for me for this week, but I'm having a lot of fun. Sal, what have you been up to?
I just want to say that I called it.
What did you call?
You and your team, Boats and Hosen, are at it again with the heroics, and you're going to get into mythics.
We're not going to get into mythics. It's not a thing for us. If you want mythics, go to one of the other mythic groups in our guild. We're not doing mythics. Swear to God, we're not.
I'll talk to you in a month. I'd like everyone to know that yesterday was Ursangus's birthday.
That's right.
Yeah. Woo. Ursangus is a very important person in our guild. He is the leader of the...
I think he is.
Fellow bald man.
He takes care of the greeters, right? He's like the greeter boss. And I've said this many times, and greeters... wow, you know, they're the busiest people in the guild. They really are. And I'm going to take Ursangus's birthday as an opportunity to say, hey, we could use some more greeters, I bet.
So, we can use some more greeters. Yes.
Yeah. So I'll give you Ursangus's home phone number. It's
we can put that up on the show.
Oh, hold on.
Hang on.
I have that.
No, email ctrofficers@gmail.com. That's CTR officer, right, Navox?
CTR officers at gmail.com. Yeah, with an S.
With an S. Okay, at gmail.com. Right. To volunteer to be a greeter. Yeah, we definitely use those kind of folks. And last week, the 2 weeks ago, we had our 100th episode. The feedback has been amazing about that. Thanks so much to everyone that came out, everyone that sent in shout outs, and everyone that listened. Since then, people have been pinging me in game like, hey, I heard it was good. And I met at least one person that listened to our show and then joined the guild because they heard about
Nice.
our show on Convert to Raid, their show, the BattleNet News, and said, hey, I'll do this. And they came over and I'm like, I cannot believe, that you joined. He's oh no, he said he saw the video that I made. And based on that video, he said it looked like a really cool community. And I'm like, tears, really good. But how are you doing, Cuddles?
I'm doing great. I am fresh back from PAX East,
Nice.
and oh my gosh, it's such an incredible time. So many amazing and wonderful people that I got to meet. A couple members of my community, one of my mods in my Twitch chat. I missed the couple CTR members that were there. Sorry, toughed out. But I had an absolutely incredible time. I will say, for everyone that made fun of me for being terrified of the cold weather, it was
It did get pretty
freezing.
cold.
So I had
There was a snowstorm.
so if anybody's been to BlizzCon before or seen pictures, the Hilton and then Blizzard and then like the convention center, like about that distance of a walk, maybe I don't know 500 yards. I don't know. I'm really bad at guesstimating. Long enough of a walk. And so when you walk out of the BCEC, the Boston Convention Center, and you want to get an Uber, you want to walk over to the hotel next door because you're not going to wait for 2 hours in front of the convention center with the 95,000 other people that are trying to get out of there.
yeah.
So-
yeah.
One evening, the convention closes at 6. It had been snowing all day long. The temperature dropped down to like 11. So it wasn't snowing anymore, but there was still it was like icy, rainy crap. And the walk. Oh, and did I mention it's right by the bay? So the wind was blowing 33 miles an hour.
Uphill, right?
So I walked from the
Both
convention
ways.
center to the Westin, and I was with two guys from Pittsburgh. And when I walk into the lobby, one of them turns around and looks at me. He's like, "Are you okay? You look like you're about to die." And I legitimately burst into tears. Like I was,
I
it
bet
was
it
one
hurt,
of the
man.
most traumatic events, and not like tears like the wind was blowing in my eyes. My eyes were no. I cried like a little kid who like had his toy broken in front of him.
Oh,
That
It-
cold must have went right through you, man.
It was no. Actually, my jacket was wonderful. You guys should all love my
I
jacket.
watched him.
It's
I watched
beautiful.
him buy it. He streamed jacket buying on Twitch.
I did. I was the number 1 jacket streamer
Jacket
in
streamer
A
on
for quite some time. But no, it was literally a traumatic event. Like it was very unpleasant. But the rest of it was so much fun. Got to see like a lot of old friends. This now marks a year of me regularly attending conventions. I went to PAX East last year just as a person, as an attendee, and went back this year as media and as somebody working for Stack Up. Spent a lot of time in the Twitch Partner Lounge, streamed from the floor. It's been an incredible journey over the last year, and really, really, really just a cool thing. Like it was a lot of fun. Winter is horrible. You people that live up north are crazy. But you guys didn't come here to hear about PAX East. You came here to hear from a
might
man
have.
who is no stranger to this show. He once walked uphill both ways in the snow just to get a little Debbie cake. He comes on once a year to talk about his long-running team, 11:30. Threat level midnight. Sorry, it's a typo. And now Navox, I was taking my time to say all these things so you can add him into the Skype
I got
call.
him. He's busy, apparently. We're trying to get him, but
He's-
he's busy.
He's too busy.
That's funny that you
All right, that's
talk
cool.
about getting a snack cake in the Blizzard because
Sal has
that
a
happened.
Blizzard-based snack cake story.
Well, she's
I
getting
do.
Somehow
hungry
doesn't
because of the Pabst
absolutely
Blue
do
ribbon.
have a Blizzard-based Snack cake story. So when my mom was pregnant with me, okay, she was like craving foods as you do, right? And in the middle of the night, it was a snowstorm happening. In the middle of the night, she's like, Steve, my dad, like, wake up, wake up, wake up. I need a Twinkie. I need Twinkies.
Is it to try to get enough?
Yeah, I tried again. Hang on, I'll try it again.
Um,
You might
I
have
want
to.
everyone in the chat room to know that Tamen is not answering the Skype.
No. It says it won't let him join. I think Cuddles has to. It says it drops him immediately out of the call.
Skype, I hate you and everything that you were based on.
Yeah. Skype is Skype's our buddy that never really.
All right, this is all gonna break because I got to do this.
And it's okay if it breaks. You know, it's radio.
Makes for great radio.
For great radio, guys. So anyway, you were talking about cake, Sal.
Okay, so my and she's like demanding Twinkies, right? And my dad,
Yep.
He puts his boots on, he gets in the car, he like gets in the store, it's snowstorm outside, whatever. He goes and grabs snack cakes. Gets home. Hey, Tom, I'm gonna finish the story because it's almost done.
Oh no.
Gets back home, hands my mom the box. And they are not Hostess Twinkies. They are, generic twins, off-brand Twinkies. They're called twins, not Twinkies. And my mom took the box, threw it on the floor, and jumped up and down on the box.
Why?
Saying, "You don't love me. You didn't get me the real Twinkies. You got me the generic Twinkies. These aren't the things I asked for."
Serious business, apparently.
And
This is legitimately where you get this attitude from, then.
to this day,
It's all true.
Twinkies are not allowed in my father's house. My mom and dad live in Texas, and there's one thing. Well, and alcohol. Okay, alcohol can't be in my father's house, and Twinkies. Totally outlawed in the house.
I can tell you who I'm not going to visit. That doesn't sound like a fun place at all.
No Twinkies and no booze.
How do you go there? I'm very confused.
I stay with my sister. She's got a bar. But that's a pretty good snack cake story, yeah?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Okay.
I'll
Okay,
give you the snack cakes for you.
We did finally bring in Tamen.
I am here now, yes.
Yes. Tamen, it's impossible to bring Tamen on the show without having some kind of weird thing happening.
Generally, yes.
Yeah. And
yes, hello.
I don't hear a fan going on. That was a really great show with your extra.
I sent my children off somewhere, so they're all quiet.
How old are your children now?
9 and 6.
Nice.
Or almost 9 and 6.
Old enough to walk in the room like that little girl.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'll have you know that. So I work from home full time now. So one of my kids walked in during one of my telecons from work one day, and you know that the thing that Dad does where he like just kind of pushes. I totally did that. Like 2 weeks before that video came out, I totally did that, and all of my coworkers were like, "Dude, what the hell?" And I was like, I don't know. And then when that video came out, I was like, I know exactly how that dad feels because that happened to me 2 weeks ago. And I pushed at least on mine, I can push the turn off the video button on a conference call. I mean, when you're on the BBC or whatever it was on, you can't turn off the video for a couple of seconds to deal with the kid. I just turned the video off and I was like, what do you need? But
that really is my favorite thing on the internet. I think a lot of, especially parents, can understand. Like kids are just gonna be kids, and that's really.
Yeah, I totally know how that guy feels. Like the kid comes in and you're like, well, I can't stop talking to these people to deal with, so I'm just gonna let the kid do what he wants.
And that kid was all. In
all honesty, all the guy had to do was pick the kid up and put him on his lap, and it would have been the most hilarious thing on the internet.
Yep.
Well, it still was.
Yeah, it was still for completely different reasons.
The wife coming in sliding across the floor.
Right.
But we are not here to talk about internet memes. We're
Right.
here to talk to Tamen. You've been on the show once or twice.
So I
to
was
talk
thinking
about-
the other day that you guys hit your 100th show. Congratulations on 100 shows. I took part in 3% of your shows. So I'm not sure what that means, but okay, we'll go with it. I feel like I've been here a lot for 3% of the shows.
I think you've been here a lot too, and we were happy to have you.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know this, but along with people like Boats and Hosen that Navox just talked about, you're one of the Threat Level Midnight is one of the OG CTR teams.
Yes, they are.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
they
think
are.
we were team number 3. I think Salad Senate beat us by 2 hours or something like that to the original team post on the forum. I think Salad Senate beat us 2 hours, and we were the 3rd or 4th team or something.
Well, I will say that Salad Senate was the premier 25 band raid team of Convert to Raid. It was the very first one that did that.
Yes. I did run the Salad Senate a few times, but it's all good.
You were probably there on the first night with all the other 103 people.
Probably, yeah. Prior to my team being actually up and running, but no, we've been around a long time. It's good. Things are still going. It's fine. We're recruiting right now because everybody is recruiting. But
we'll go back to okay. Let me be like Belschnickel and be like, break it down for us. Tell us about Threat Level Midnight. What do you do? Which story? And then get into the recruiting. Don't
So Threat Level Midnight is a flex group like all of us are now. We did a little bit of Mythics back in Hellfire Citadel. We've been around since Mists. We started in right about when Terrace Vendless Springs opened. And we were a 10-man group back then, and we went up to 20 for Hellfire. And in Legion, it's been a little tough. We had some rough going roster problems in the beginning of Legion, but it's been all right. Kind of moved on from that. We are currently 5 of 10 heroic in Nighthold.
Nice.
We're a little slower than I would like, but we'll get to AOTC, which is our goal every tier. We're not looking to do mythics. We're just having a good time and killing bosses, and the crew that we're that I've got is amazing. That everybody, Shadowfell there, Catfish John is crushing stuff as a DH. Yeah, we're good. Stuff's good.
Now in Nighthold, you said you're 5 out of 10. What boss are you working on right now?
We did a little bit of work on Tyke on Sunday, on last night. Just kind of fleshing out strat. Nothing major. We didn't really expect to kill it last night. We'll kill it this week though. We skipped Spellblade, so we did Croesus and Augur. We got Augur down last week. And then we're gonna go do Tyke, and we'll probably come back to Spellblade after Tyke.
See, that's what we ran into an issue where we were busted our head against Croesus, and then we moved on to Tichondrius, and then we did Spellblade, and then we did Star Augur, and then we're just like, why haven't we been doing Star Augur this entire time? That fight is so easy, guys. It's the same fight as normal. You guys should go do it. If you're like, I don't know if I could do Star Augur, go do Star Augur. You could do it.
Yeah, Augur ended up being a lot easier than we expected to be. I was actually out last week.
Fight.
So.
It is. Star Augur is an awesome fight.
It's a good fight. It's not particularly easy, at first, but you kind of got to like figure it out and get it. Now, once you overgear it, then it's kind of a face roll. But I like face our team. I mean, I do like just rolling through it, but the progression on that, I really felt good with it.
Yeah.
But the first phase is the hardest phase.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll come back to Spellblade probably after Tyke. We'll probably do Spellblade before we do Botanist, just to get it out of the way.
This is annoying.
Running around Spellblade to get to all of the other bosses gets a little aggravating.
Yeah.
Wow. So just kind of we'll get past that, and then we'll get Spellblade down, and then Botanist will probably fall pretty quick, and then Elisand, and then we have to beat our hells against Gul'dan for a little while. We'll
Yeah.
we'll get to AOTC like we do every tier. That's the goal every tier. So, yeah, things are moving along nicely. So
Cool. I just want to ask, like, is there any like crazy stuff going on? Any like funny like team memes or something? Like, I'll tell you what, Catfish John was the first person in the chat room today, and that's and like he was here at something like 45 minutes before the show started. He's here before I was.
yeah, that dude's amazing. No, you know the typical Tamen shadow stepped off of the bridge on Croesus. Tamen shadow stepped into Immersius. Tamen shadow stepped into, I don't know, you know,
Now
the usual stuff. I will say that Shadowfell Catfish John calls for a legendary every single week, and I'm not entirely sure he's been wrong so far. Like we start our raid night with him calling for a legendary, and I swear to God, it's like magic.
What do you mean calling for it?
He says, he's like, we're like, all right, well, it's not going to happen unless he says something about it. And he says, all right, well, we're getting a legendary tonight, aren't we? And sure as shit, we get a legendary. It feels like every freaking week, and I don't understand it.
Awesome.
So I'm glad to have that guy around I'm glad to have that guy around just to get his legendaries every week, you know.
Tom,
You need a good legendary magnet, yeah.
I was going to say, you've played a rogue ever since the start of the guild, and I mean, you've not changed your character. Like, you've just played your rogue, right? To the point where, I don't know if, now correct me if I'm wrong, you actually take care of the Shadowcraft DPS stuff for rogues now, right?
I do. I've actually been a rogue since Burning Crusade. Never really played anything else. I dabbled in Druid, and I've dabbled in Warrior, and I just keep coming back to rogue.
You just like that rogue.
Yeah, it's just the whole stealth aspect, you know. And why would I fight my way through something when I can just stealth around the outside of it? Because I'm lazy like that. But yeah, I'm fairly deep into the theory crafting side of things now. I'm the current UI maintainer for Shadowcraft. We have a couple of guys who work on the engine that do all the mathy bits. I just do make it look pretty.
Now, in regards to that with the rogues, now say somebody like me who's got a rogue that they played, like I played a rogue a lot. Like it was my main in Wrath, and I kept coming back to him a little bit here and there. He's still sitting at 100 because I have not found like the spec that I really want to level with him. What would you suggest somebody leveling a rogue like a 100 to 110? What build would you say to use the talent? Talent tree. Yeah.
To be honest, any of the specs for leveling are good.
Okay.
I would, when you get to end tier, I would skip Outlaw altogether.
Really? Okay.
I know it's the shiny new thing, but it's a terrible, terrible spec.
Okay.
It is
Isn't it just combat?
No, it's
no,
combat
it's not.
with the dice rolling mechanic, and it is
combat was better.
Stupid RNG fest. It is just dumb.
I miss combat. I miss the whole, the what was it, slash eviscerate, that I know it was boring to some people, but still I still preferred combat over what Outlaw is now. So
yeah, Outlaw has such a variance in DPS that if you are lucky, you do amazing DPS, and if you are terribly unlucky, you are garbage tier, like bottom of the meter garbage. And unfortunately, in the bit that I played Outlaw at the beginning of Emerald Nightmare, I was horribly unlucky with that spec, and I never looked back at it. But I'm playing Assassination now.
Okay.
It's kind of mind-numbingly boring. There's not really a whole lot going on in it, but it is strong. Once you get your legendary going and get the right relics and everything, it is good.
Remember back in Cataclysm when Assassination was good for one thing and one thing only?
Or when Sub was good for PvP only, and that was it.
Right. Yeah.
Right now, rogues are in a pretty good spot right now. We're competitive across pretty much all of the specs. If you want to play something complicated, sub is there. Sub is complicated. It always will. If you want to play something strong that's not very complicated, assassination is there. And if you want to feel bad about yourself, you can play outlaw. And
That's great.
so things are good though. Other stuff going on, CT raid progress is still going strong.
Nice.
Let's talk about that.
I just did a roster update today.
Yay.
Finally, they fixed all the problems with the guild site. Congratulations to Part Shark for getting all of that sorted out. And got the rosters all sorted
Shade
out.
at Part Shark.
No, I worked with Part Shark to get it sorted out. So I'm congratulating you for finally getting it all sorted out. So we got the rosters updated. I did a ranking pass this morning. There's a few questions I have about whether the ranks are still totally correct, but it'll happen probably tomorrow.
Okay, but for people who just heard that and said CTR raid what? Can you talk about it?
Chat.
Yeah, you put it in the chat.
For the people, the
Who are listening?
majority
For the people who are
of people
listening, yes.
So ctraidprogress.appspot.com is the original. I'd like to find out the original kind of guild ranking. I don't want to call it ranking because the officers will yell at me. The guild progression status for all of the raid groups across CTR. There are currently 53 raid groups and 900 and something tunes across those 53 raid groups. So I can remember from this morning when I did the group loading. It trolls through all of the boss kills at 2 a.m. my time every night and generates kind of a listing of what bosses groups have killed. Sometimes it will tweet out what has happened overnight if Twitter is feeling magnanimous and more.
It's not consistent though.
It's
tweeting
not.
isn't.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's wrong with it. It's. I don't think it's me. I think it's Twitter. I hate to blame. It's never my code that's the problem. It's somebody else's code. But yeah, I don't know what the hell's wrong with it. I have so much going on with other projects that I haven't had time to go look at it. But
it's still pretty cool though. I dig this site a lot.
Yeah. Raid group info, which is raidgrpinfo.appspot.com is a grid site we've talked about before for kind of tracking your group's eye levels across all of their gear and their trait progression and things like that. I've actually been talking to some Blizzard API devs about fixing relic support in the last couple of weeks. So hopefully I'll
stop.
What?
Roll that back. You've been talking to Blizzard devs. Oh,
shoot!
Oh.
Shoot! Shoot! Exit! I will turn around and go.
That was the 9-year-old.
That was the 9-year-old.
Yeah.
The Blizzard API, which I know and love, has a Discord channel where you can talk to the guys who actually do work on the API, and been working with them quite a bit in kind of fixing a bunch of the problems that we've found with a lot of the API data, items and character data and group progression kind of things, and relic support in the character data is one of my big sticking points. It's just terrible right now, and so I'm trying to get them to fix it. So it's a bit more useful to people like me who want all I really want is tell me what eye level each relic is. That's all.
Are there a lot of people storing relics and trying to sim those out and I get a relic, it's got a higher number on it, I use it.
Yep. That's what you should do.
No, that's not what you should.
Yes.
And you can't realistically farm relics.
You can't realistically farm relics, but and some people will harass me for this. Some relics are better than other relics based on your traits. For example, in assassination, you want 2 Master Assassin relics because that reduces your Vendetta cooldown to a certain point. You don't want 3 of them because there's a diminishing returns on those relics. So you only want 2, those are worth about 20 eye levels over any other kind of relic. So if you get an 860 Master Assassin relic, it's better than an 880 of pretty much any other kind of relic. So you basically have to really play that game of, do I want to drop this relic for this relic based on the trait that it is and the eye level of that relic? Because, like if you're going to make your weapon go up 2 eye levels, but, based on the eye level of the relic, but you're losing a good trait to go up that 2 eye levels, you're losing DPS in the end. And so there's kind of like a trade-off in actually picking your relics that a lot of people are like, man, I'll just put a relic in there. It's makes my eye level go up. It's great. It's really not that case.
Well, your team member, oh, by the way, Chief Vol'jin is in the chat room and says #blame Celestalon on that.
Relics are your thing right now.
But Catfish John says, my relic works with my trinket to allow meta to roll on 2-minute cooldown instead of 4.
Yeah. So his metamorphosis thing that's
what that is. I'm like,
as
what?
a demon hunter. Yeah.
Right.
If you can put enough relics in there that make your metamorphosis drop down half of its cooldown, then that is a huge DPS upgrade over any of his other traits that wouldn't do that for him. And there's a lot of traits there's a lot of relics you'll get that are like, for sub, there's a trait that makes you immune or increases your dodge. I think there's a trait for sub. Why would I ever take a relic that gives me a dodge increase? I'm a DPS. I'm not a tank. I better be taking a relic that increases my DPS, even if it's a lower eye level. It's still better than the 0 DPS increase you're getting from an increased dodge.
I am totally guilty.
A lot of people are.
The higher number and sticking it in. I don't even read what they are.
Yeah. A lot of people. And and you're a shaman. So you've got Binkenstein on your side. I don't know if you know who Bink is.
Of course I follow Bink.
Bink, I'm sure, has done the relic numbers for you guys.
He's Ellie, not enhanced.
I bet if you were to ask him to show you enhanced
he
numbers,
do you follow him on Twitter? He is not a nice person.
Bink is an amazing person. I know what you're talking about. You just haven't got him.
He tweets. Binkenstein is a really important theory crafter in the elemental shaman world, but he mostly tweets about terrible things.
Well, so Bink mostly tweets about the terrible people that come into Discord and demand things from him, like they owe him something.
I've been following him for years. Okay,
go in and ask him a pointed question about something that you can't get from. I'm sure there's probably
an intelligent question that you can't easily Google.
That's exactly.
Is anytime you know anything, and anytime you have any experience about anything, people they just assume that you were there to be their Google, and that is not the case. I don't know how many people, and don't take this the wrong way, anyone that has asked me in the past, because there may be people in here, I don't think so, but people, because I stream, they're like, hey man, can we get on a Skype call and you can explain to me how to stream? Like, no, I can give you a few links, and if you have questions, I'll answer them. And now I'm getting there. I'm getting to where he is, where it's like, you could have Googled this, but you asked me. Like, is Google broke?
I mod the Shadowcraft support channel on the Ravenhold Discord, and people will come in with this, like, this question has absolutely nothing to do with Shadowcraft. Like, we have a simple questions channel about you can spew all the questions you want about your rotation over there. Why are you asking this here? I get that, like, every day I get some question there where I'm just like, just going to shake my head at you and delete your post out of this channel, because it doesn't mean anything to this channel whatsoever. But seriously, like, Bink is a seriously nice dude. You just have to not ask him honestly, not ask him questions that could be answered.
I challenge you to read 10 of his last tweets. And I bet you 40%, no, 10 of his, I bet 6 of them have negative things to say of his last 10 tweets. But he's a very important theory crafter, you're right. But there was something else that you wanted to talk about that you mentioned. And it kind of relates to like stuff like relics and drops and stuff. You want to talk about the terrible RNG in this expansion.
I do.
What's your rant?
So I don't know where Blizzard went with this expansion and decided that everything needed to be based on Diablo. Because that's what this expansion turned into. I love Diablo. I really do, as Diablo. Warforging and Titan Forging has completely screwed up gearing in this expansion. I will admit, I love opening my Mythic Plus chest at the end of the week and possibly having a 930 plus item drop out of that chest. That's freaking amazing. But at the same time, I've been doing heroic content. I didn't really deserve to get a 930 something item out of a random drop. Legendaries are terrible in this expansion. I love the variation in legendaries. It's a neat thing. A lot of those things could have been tier bonuses, really, or trinkets. They didn't need to be legendaries. We could have done the same legendary system that we had previously, where you either work towards one for yourself or your group worked towards one for you. A lot of the specs in this expansion are seriously overly RNG based. Outlaw isn't the only one. Outlaw is probably the worst of them, but a lot of these are like based. Assassination has a problem with AoE, where probably half of your AoE is based on a 25% proc rate off of your envenoms. If you don't get any procs off of it, you don't do AoE. If you get a lot of procs off of it, you're amazing. I don't know why we had to go so far deep into the RNG, but that's.
You don't like that you can't predict what's going to happen.
That's not so much it, I don't think. I watched the show that Theory Crafters work, and the Shadowcraft's Outlaw model will be broken probably for this entire expansion. We will probably never properly model Outlaw because it is so. A Roll of Bones is such a nightmare in it. The making it actually converge on some sort of DPS number in a short period of time is almost an impossibility. We're trying to get sub and assassination truly solid before we really dive back into that thing, but I doubt we'll ever actually make it work correctly. And it's simply because of Roll the Bones. Roll the Bones is so. You can spend an entire fight spending your combo points on nothing but Roll the Bones and rolling single buffs the entire fight. Ooh. And never actually do another finisher, because rolling more than one finisher rolling more than one buff off of a Roll the Bones is honestly more important than doing any other finishers.
You need to get good, Tamen.
I need to get good. Okay. I'm sorry.
But RNG doesn't just exist within like raids and drops and stuff. So Dan Turismo in the chat says the professions also have that RNG.
I have made probably 1,000 agility flasks. I still don't have rank 3 agility flasks.
Wow.
I made 10 int flasks, and I got the rank 3 int flask. That is just ugly. I have spent probably 1,000 wildfowl eggs at Nomi. I still don't have the rank 3 mastery food, which is the only food that I need. The rank 3 mastery food is the only one that I need. I have spent probably 1,000 eggs at him trying to get one recipe to drop. And every single egg I've spent to him has given me burnt food. Oh. Like, how is this a good system? Like, how is this fun for players? Or when you spend a whole bunch of stuff at him and he gives you 5 of the same recipe.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
great.
Frustrating. Yeah.
Thanks. I just got 5 recipes and they were all the same one and I had to delete 4 of them. And now I'll spend 3 freaking weeks waiting for another one to drop. Like, so yeah, I'm a little salty on a lot of dark.
Yeah, gosh, I didn't even think about Nomi. I mean, Nomi is the burner of all things.
Yeah, especially if you jumped on the PTR this past weekend, you could go attack Nomi, but you would get Dalaran set on fire. I don't know if you saw the footage of this. If you went and attacked Nomi on the PTR, he had this big AoE fire damage spell, and
he was a raid boss.
No. They wanted to their load testing. I believe one of their servers or they're load testing the PTR, and they made it so that Dalaran was an open world PvP, and you could attack anything. So people were just going in there and attacking anything and everything, and they just happened to buff Nomi to the point where Nomi was essentially a raid boss. Yeah, it was crazy.
Nomi had like 1 billion health on the PTR. And it was, at the end, I heard at the end they spawned something like 20 of them in Dalaran, and he was just running around
devs ain't got nothing to do but troll people. Here's another one.
Well, hey, it's a good load testing, Let's see how many raid bosses we can spawn into a small zone with the amount of fire effects and everything else. It's good client testing. I bet they got lots of good metrics on how their clients handled the particle effects and stuff like that. So.
You're probably right. Like if I had understood it was going to happen and I had a chance to punch Nomi in the face, I probably would have downloaded that PTR.
The thing was, they announced that they were going to make that available. Like they announced that they were going to make Dalaran where you could attack anything and everything. And the first response to their tweet about it was, "Can we kill Nomi?"
Even on the forums, that was the first post on the forum.
And so there was a screenshot of the event starting, and Nomi's room had something like 100 people in it, just standing there waiting for Nomi to spawn. and Nomi spawned and filled the room with fire, and all the people died. It was, yeah, I don't know. I was on vacation last week, so I had to miss it. But I wish I had been there because it was pretty funny.
Okay, we should wrap this up. But one of my gentleman co-hosts here want to ask Tamen some of our traditional questions.
Good, Nev.
All right, Tamen, go ahead, and this is something we always ask for your raid team. Can you name everybody on your raid team without looking at anything?
All right, I'm gonna miss somebody, I'm sure. I have Tanks or Volstats and Twitter Bunny. Twitter Bunny plays Strawbane, a druid. Healers, I have Eddie Belly, who plays actually a druid named Sabu. I have the Padre, who's a priest. Sukinsuke, who we call Suk, is a monk. For melee DPS, I've got me, I've got Shadowfell, I've got Ashanka, who's a shaman. Shigeko, who's a shaman. He switches back and forth between elemental and enhancement every once in a while. Lurks, he's a DK. Ranged, I've got Magenta Hunter, Mage Aug. Aug is a pro. That dude is amazing. That dude is, he's crazy. I've got X Corsus Suno, who you might know from 9 to Midnight from way back when. He's a Shadow Priest. I've got Blackwell, who just took a break. He was a Warlock. Who am I missing? I think that's everybody. I'm sure I forgot somebody, and I'm terribly apologetic to the people that I just forgot. I'm sure Vol is going to pipe into the chat here in a second and tell me who I forgot. But yeah, we're a good group. I like it. I love it. A bunch of those guys have been with us for a couple of expansions now, and yeah, stuff's good. What else you got?
What's up?
Yeah.
Well, if you got any shout outs, go for it.
So I'm going to plug this right now. You heard it here first. I haven't told anybody this at all except for the couple of people in my raid group. We're rewriting Shadowcraft from scratch. We're starting all over because the UI is terrible and I hate it, and so we're going to start all over again.
Really?
Yep. So a guy, Erwin, who is in the Rogue Theory crafting community, and I have been working for the last probably couple of months on the front end work. A guy named Mistler and Fiery Demise are working on the engine stuff. What else we got? Plex.tv. I work for Plex. It's my cheap plug right here. Plex.tv is a great media server software if you're looking for something like that. I don't have anything else. My plugs.
All right.
Right on. Well, thank you so much, Tom. It's always a pleasure having you on. We definitely appreciate it, and we will.
I gotta make
next year.
I gotta make my yearly appearance. We will. I'll try to slide it back a little bit because I somehow went from like November to January to February to March, and I need to slide it back into November again so that I'm back on the yearly schedule. The problem is I remember after it has happened that I needed to go on for a year, and then I get a hold of Sal, and she's like, "Yeah, we're scheduled like 2 months in the future, so I can't get you in until 2 months from now." So I need to remember earlier on.
Well,
Listen, we're a popular show. What do you want me to say?
This is for Tamen, so he's probably leading now at this point for guests.
I don't want that to be a thing. I do not. I don't want there. I mean, that's great.
Totally.
And I welcome all your emails. But I mean, everybody. Yes, Tom, and thanks so much for coming on and talking about your long-running team and what you're doing with the CTR Raid Progress is really a great service.
And the Rogue community.
Well, screw rogues.
Oh, come on, Sal. Now you're salty.
We've got the
It's
best
all that
tools.
Paps. It's all that Paps Blue Ribbon.
We've got the best tools. I'm telling you. All of the rest
Listen,
of you,
I love
all
my
the rest
rogue.
of you just have SimCraft to deal with. What we've got.
Tell me about it. We do really.
Yeah,
I mean,
like having hung out in the monk side of things, not doing any of what you do, but knowing all those guys, we may privately be jealous of Shadowcraft.
We tried to get the monks to do a Shadowcraft module for monks, and they didn't want to.
Yeah, well,
You and I, Cuddles, I believe we talked about this not at BlizzCon last year, but the year before
we did.
about dragging Hina and all of those people into doing a module for Shadowcraft, and
Hina smells. So
I didn't know that.
Actually, he smells of elderberries and a fresh spring breeze. It's quite delightful.
That's quite that's quite lovely.
Yes, if he would stop sleeping on couches in the middle of the day, maybe he'd have more time.
Tamen, are you the Binkenstein of rogues?
Oh Jesus, no.
Yeah.
Are you the Binkenstein of rogues?
no.
everybody go out to Twitter right now and follow Tamen.
Tamen
Ask them
is the
all.
Binkenstein of
I
rogues.
do not do that. I do not do math. I don't do the mathy bits. I just make things look good. No, the people who are amazing in the Rogue community, Aethys is awesome. Who else is out there? Lawrence, Nav, who is our SimCraft developer. That dude is unbelievable. There's a bunch of them that do a bunch of work on the math side of things, and I can't even hold a candle to them in the things that they know about the math side of rogues that I will never understand. So, I'm going to make one more plug here. Threat Level Midnight is recruiting. We're recruiting range DPS. I did a tweet about it earlier today. I'm waiting for CTR Guild to retweet my tweet because they never retweet my tweets because I feel.
Oh, really? I'll go retweet.
Jules. Cool.
Yeah.
Great. If Jules or Pat hasn't retweeted it already, then they won't. You can try it tomorrow.
That's what I'm saying.
Try it after between like noon and 3 Eastern time.
Doing it right now.
That's all I had to do is touch your nav. All right.
I'm doing it right now.
Yes.
Navox, do you have the CTR Twitter?
No, but I do.
No. Shh, you weren't supposed to know that. You weren't supposed to tell anybody now.
Does Does Jules know you? Anyway, we
Yes, she's
we need to
aware.
move on.
All right.
Tom and
Move
bye.
on. I will drop out of this show. Have a good evening, everybody. It was good to talk to
See you, Tom.
There. All right, let's get Turharts in here. Can we do this? Or should we do Ash?
If you've already invited
I haven't
Ash,
invited anybody. That's why I was asking.
Ash. Yeah,
Okay,
Ash.
well, that's what I
It's
do.
a secret,
I
guys.
ask things.
God.
Well, okay, so
They're gonna see
here's
it. Screen because I invited him, and then you blew it.
we have a very special announcement to make.
Oh my gosh! Look, it's not Nate.
It's not Nate. We're bringing
not
back the raid reports.
What's up, Ash?
So tonight,
What's up,
Ash joins us as our raid team liaison ambassador.
Ambassador.
Yeah, and you've got some ideas for us, and that's great. So we're going to be talking about what's going on with CTR raid teams. Again, this segment
Absolutely.
exists.
It does exist. We have raid teams. They progress. You want to know what they're doing? We're trying to keep track of it. You got Tamen there creating great tools, and we can use them. And I'd love to come on and share, what's going on with the raid teams.
Yes. I mean, we are a convert to raid, are we not?
We are.
Mm.
We are. So, we can get started, or you guys, anything else?
Give us what you got, man.
Cool. So the report, I'm going to try to break it down into a couple of categories, starting with the big kills, that folks are getting, and then a couple other little things. So let's get started. Okay. The Rady Brunch, MPD, as I'm going to call them because it's a long name. Help to Pay. These guys have all made their mark this week, going 10 of 10 normal. Good job, guys.
Nice.
Highly Offensive, TLDR Just Pull, and Project Fail Sauce uprooted the High Botanist, and they are all 8 of 10 now. Heroic. Good job, guys. That guy is crazy. If you guys have not done that fight, it is nuts.
It's annoying.
Yeah. Standard Dragon Protocol, Project Fail Sauce, Epic Eggplant, Threat Level Midnight, Council of Chaos, all put the lights out on Star Augur this week. They are of varying, progressions, but they all took out Star Augur. HTX took out Ellison, 9 of 10 normal. Good job, HTX. I don't know what HTX stands for. Do you guys?
HTX?
HTX.
Go on to the next one. I'm sure the chat room will tell us.
Okay. On the Mythic front, we've got Warfront. They rebooted Trilliax back on the 10th of the month, so they, along with Convert to Mythic, are 3 of 10, I believe, as long as my data is still correct. Rectified is now working on Gul'dan after wrecking Elison's face. They are 9 of 10 heroic. And Boats and Hosen's back in business. What? Boats and Hosen showed up
That's right.
at the last minute this week.
Last minute this week.
Boats and Hosen shows up on the report, and they hit 7 of 10 heroic. Good job, Nav.
Yeah, thanks.
Nav and Company. Good job.
Nav and Company. More company than Nav. I just stand there and get hit in the face. They do all the work.
Yeah. So and there are several teams that are didn't necessarily make a progression kill in the last week and a half, but they will be getting reported on as progression happens. And thanks, Tamen, for the tool that makes this possible. Makes it super easy to get this information. Basically reports. I know the Twitter thing may not be working, super good right now, whatever, but the website tool is working really good, and it's easy to read text. So, the other thing that I thought I might touch on, we have raid teams. Raid teams recruit. Again, it's not that hard to get some information about who's recruiting, but as long as I'm on here, I thought I would just let you know, some of the teams that are recruiting, those that are putting their information out there, especially those that are putting their information out there in the CTR Discord. Their information is available. Contact information is available in the CTR Discord, so you'll want to jump in there and contact folks directly. That's probably the fastest way to get in touch with some of these teams. But here we go. Held to pay. 5:30, 8:30 server. All these times will be server. If I say a time, it should be server. Held to pay 5:30, 8:30 server. I didn't get the days that they raid. They're looking for ranged DPS. Don't Release is a mythic progression team. Wednesday 8 to midnight, Sunday 8 to 11, and they're looking for DPS. You know what? Everybody's looking for DPS.
Everybody's looking for DPS.
Nobody needs a healer. Nobody needs a tank. They're good. The tanks are all good. The healers are all
Why
great.
is every team looking for range?
Okay,
right now?
range DPS for Tichondrius and Croesus.
You know what? You need melee DPS for Tichondrius. We do.
The
way we do the strategy, we go in. We drop those. Whatever you call them.
The bloods.
Bombs. No, the bombs that blow up on heroic. There's a mechanic. The range get targeted with a whatever. We bring those folks into melee and pop
Hey,
that.
Esh, don't pop them. Esh, leave the people. Just let them keep the green circle the whole fight.
The whole fight.
Whole fight. Let them keep that circle, and then they can break them one by one at the end. Seriously, it'll save you a whole bunch of time and damage. Just let them keep it. Just keep them separated. Got to keep them separated. But then,
but what about the pillar? What about you got to stack behind the pillar?
They do stack behind the pillars. They just don't stand on top of each other. I'll stream it tomorrow.
Stream it. I got to see it. Sounds dangerous.
This raid tip is brought to you by the Converted Podcast.
Where were we? Was that Don't Release? Maybe.
I think so. Yeah.
Project Fail Sauce Heroic Team Tuesday, Sunday, 5:30 to 8 o'clock. Yes. Dungeoneering Inc. Wednesdays and Thursdays 7 to 9:30. Recruiting Standard Dragon Protocol Wednesdays and Sundays 4:30 to 7:30. Resolve Heroic Raid Team Tuesdays, Thursdays 6:30 to 9. Threat Level Midnight. I put it in at the last second because I heard Tamen say, "Hey, we're recruiting." So okay, hey, those guys are recruiting. My team Facepool, we're looking for DPS as well. So Tuesday, Thursday, 5 to 8 server. Like clockwork.
Yeah.
Going on Gul'dan.
Nice.
What a fight.
Nice. I cannot wait. That sounds like a lot of fun.
It is a challenging fight, and what was funny for us is Ellison was an inconsistent fight for us. Like the first night we got to Heroic Ellison, we pulled her like 4 times. Dead. Second night we go in there, just couldn't get her down. Couldn't pull it off. 3 hours just kept wiping.
It's like, okay, let's just make these people fight this boss 3 times. It's like, oh God, just I just don't like that fight at all of them. That's one fight. Like
there's some not so obvious things going on in the fight that once you kind of understand the repeating aspect of phase 1 and the repeating aspect of what happens with the bomb drops in phase, you can finally get a handle on the exact repeat. It becomes a little easier, but it's a weird fight.
All right. Did you have anything else for us tonight, Ash?
Nope, that's it. I would say if you're recruiting, if you want to be, you want me to bring you up on the show, just let me know. I'm on Twitter at Echelon. Super simple. Or you can find me on the CTR Discord. Echelon's in there. Same for wanted to, put this out there as potential, something we can bring up on the raid reports is the MVPs. So if your team's got an MVP, You want us to
Nice.
like call them out, like give them special recognition? You got a story you want to tell about them? Feel free to write me. I'd love to tell your story about your MVP. Doesn't it, that we don't have to have one every week, but if we got one, we'll talk about it. I think it'd be great. And if you're a free agent, you're looking for a raid team, you think 5 seconds, 10 seconds on the show might help you find a raid team, let me know. I'll make sure we mention that you're a free agent and what your schedule is.
Awesome, Ash. Awesome.
That's what it's about, man. It's about finding raid teams.
And welcome to the Converted Podcast. Yay.
Cool. Thank you so much, Ash. I'm really happy when we get this information out again. This is
yeah. It's always fun to have the raid report. We need to get that music going there too.
Yeah, it's good to know where the teams are, and I don't know. It feels like progress just to hear all the names each week and hear the, what died, CTR is killing so much stuff. Let's talk about it.
Cool,
Okay.
cool. Well, thanks so much. We're going to get Turarts in here and talk about like other stuff that we're doing in CTR.
Good luck on Gold Dan this week, bud.
Thanks, man. All right. Have a great one, guys.
See ya. Ash.
See ya.
So that was our surprise. Our surprise was we got the raid report going on, which we haven't had since Nate.
It's fun.
Love the Nate.
And that's the one thing that, separates CTR Guild. It's like we keep doing the community thing like the old school guilds used to do. I love it.
Yeah. It's time for tea.
Hey.
What is on your head?
That's Bowser.
Bowser.
Wow.
This is called I Haven't Washed My Hair. So we're rocking
Listen,
a hat.
I like a good Mario Brothers reference. I do.
But yeah, so event stuff now. Thanks to Blizzard doing what Blizzard always does, they gave us more time for that Heroes mount, which is great because I failed at getting it. But the Amazing Wares is going to be hosting a Heroes mount run on the 25th at 6 p.m. server. So if you are like me and didn't get it the first time, they give you a second chance to get it. So get in there, get it done. It'll be awesome. As far as other events go, I don't really have any more events to talk about. We're getting some new event planners on. You will be seeing more stuff for us. But what I do want to talk about is the event survey. We didn't close that, but I had the results in.
Is this the brownie survey?
No, this is not the brownie survey. Y'all suck. You picked the edges.
Is this the soft taco, hard taco survey?
I haven't done that one yet. No,
Oh.
I did the,
Hard
the
tacos.
pineapple. The pineapple.
Yes, pineapple. Yes,
Pineapple one.
belongs on pizza.
It does.
Yes.
It does. No, this is the one that we did where y'all got to tell me what you guys wanted for the future of events for CTR. And I got the results kind of finalized in on the 1st of March, which was in between our 99 and our 100 episode. And we talked about other things in episode 100. So I kind of waited till this episode to talk to you about that survey. So with the survey, a couple of great trolls. Kudos to you. You probably aren't watching the show with what you said, but kudos. Otherwise, it was about 50-50 as to whether or not you guys wanted to do things outside of WoW. And what I'm going to say is that's kind of the way the guild's going. We will always, always be a WoW guild. But as Zug has said it, as Jules and myself has said it, there's other Blizzard games, and almost all of them are free to play. So we're going to be doing more. We are going to be doing more.
I knew it.
It's just the way that it's going to work. So you will be seeing like the heroes things on there. We have a kind of maybe a Hearthstone thing in the work. That's just kind of the way it's going to go. We'll still have our WoW events. But something else that might be changing is, although we will keep on doing stuff with the calendar, I know me personally, sometimes I log in and I'm like, awesome, I have like an hour to play, and I find out as I'm sitting down. Sometimes I log in and I'm like, I'm going to check my auctions, and that's all I got today. So we might have more of these random kind of pop-up events where we are going to be just randomly getting on and being like, hey, I want to run LFR. Come join me as a event planner. You'll still see things on the calendar. You're still going to see stuff there, but don't be surprised if your event planners are doing more things kind of on the fly. It's going to be fun, though. It'll be great. The other thing that I got on there is that people want events that help you get geared and help you be a better player. And as much as I would love to be able to do that, it is super hard. It is. I can run normals. I might even be able to push some heroic raids, maybe. Normal raids might be pushing it, but I can't limit this. I can limit item level, but I can't tell you a player skill based on their item level. So those events are just really hard to come by. They are. As far as making you a better player, I can definitely look at bringing back, the boot camps or the roundtables. Kind of the last series we did about 18 months ago didn't go over well, so I dropped it, but we can look at doing that again. As far as getting your gear, though, that's not kind of how we're set up. And I'm sorry, I really am. I do feel bad, but that's not the way that it works, and it's super hard. I can get your alts kind of some gear to help get you up, but you're kind of on your own there. Sorry. It's just the way the game is. But otherwise, you guys had a lot of great responses, a lot of split stuff. You guys either loved stuff or you hated it, which was great. It just means that we're doing the right events. We're hitting things for everyone, and everyone has a different play style too. So that's kind of where we're at. Otherwise, I think that's it for events. Thank you all who kind of filled out that survey, and you get another week to do your heroes thing if you are lazy like I am.
All right.
But yeah, that's it.
So much stuff going on. Awesome. So we heard from the raid part. We heard from the events part. Such great community. Awesome.
Bless you. Keep talking. Yeah, lots of stuff. Lots of cool stuff. I'm glad to see raid stuff.
That's all back. The Pabst Blue Ribbon coming out of her nose.
And that, children, is why we drink reasonably decent beer.
Like Busch Light or Bud Light.
Yeah, at least step in like...
PBR did not make me sneeze just now.
Yes, it did. PBR is the cause of all of your life's problems now.
And then it was like, ah.
Listen.
It burns. It'll burn later. Don't worry. It's the PBR.
I live in Brooklyn. The hipsters drink PBR. What can I say?
All the
now, what's this, Turarts? What's this stuff about pineapple going on in chat room? There's this whole chat going on right now.
Pen.
That was I've been doing those silly little surveys just to. Don't get me wrong. We're not going to go into this, but I love talking about politics and things like that. But I think every now and then we need a break. And so I've been doing these silly surveys about the brownie. And my last one was, does pineapple belong on pizza? And you guys picked yes, because you're awesome.
So gross.
It's so good.
It's so good,
delicious.
Sal.
It
Pineapple
is.
and a little curry chicken.
I do agree there's only certain things, though, pineapple can go with. There's it's called the Maui Wowie. It's a mellow mushroom pizza. It has jerk chicken, banana peppers, bacon, Canadian bacon or ham, depending on where you're from, what you call it, and pineapple on it. And it is delicious, especially if I have them sub their white or their pesto sauce for their red sauce, because I like red sauce, but
Just
it's so good.
Okay.
I know what
in
I'm getting
Brooklyn,
for dinner tomorrow.
when I order the Maui Wowie, I get something very
Different.
very different.
That's the Maui. That's Mello's Maui Wowie. What's your Maui Wowie?
Nothing. Never mind.
All right. I feel like, is it a drink?
No, but
That's what he plays it. What?
it's a naughty cigarettes.
It's some of that there wacky tobacco what they got up north.
Oh. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of their pizzas are named after things like that. So I
Yeah,
should have connected that.
They're a bunch of stoner hipsters that started a pizza
are.
company.
They really are. Their beer cheese is made with PBR. So, speaking of PBR.
One of the good
This show
uses for
brought to you by
PBR,
PBR.
cooking, not drinking.
You know.
You were not wearing the vest or mustache to pull off saying that you're a hipster.
I'm wearing a CTR, the OG, the very first CTR T-shirt
It's not hipster. That's played out. It was hipster like 3 years ago.
from the
No.
Nope.
first BlizzCon ever.
Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
did y'all not What?
CTR
This
was
is- No.
at the first BlizzCon ever. That's why I know you're not a
the first
hipster.
CCR BlizzCon ever.
No, that's why I know you're not a hipster. And you're not wearing it ironically enough.
I
Right.
wore it because I'm
If
doing
you
the
wore
converted
it
podcast.
if you wore it on the instance to talk about AIE, then
Yeah.
you could pull it off as hipster because it would be ironic. Right now, you're just like wearing. It's like you're going on a Nike commercial wearing their shoes. What are you doing, Sal? You're shilling for corporate America, okay?
This took a turn.
So if I wore an
Yeah.
AIE T-shirt, it would be ironic.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm not trying to be ironic with my T-shirt. This is
Actually,
a convert to rate
don't you
guild
think?
T-shirt
A
designed by one Miss.
Too ironic.
AIE might not be ironic.
Yeah,
It would
I
be
really
weird
do think.
if you
It's
wore
like
a Wild Star
raining
T-shirt. If you wore a Wild
your
Star
wedding
T-shirt,
day?
it would be ironic.
Navox is singing. By the
I'm
way,
totally cool with that.
people in this panel probably kind of know this. I know Turarts knows this. We've already started planning for the CTR party.
yes, we have the
Yes.
CTR BlizzCon party. Yes.
Woo!
Yes.
Here's
Really excites.
can we say anything?
No.
Can we?
Well, I
don't
was
think you
wondering
can.
because if you notice, if you look at Twitter, some things have changed.
That's already happened. I'm just gonna say it.
I don't think we can say.
Oh.
No, we can't say
Don't
that.
say anything yet.
Okay.
We can't
'Cause
say
they just
that.
said-
I don't think.
They mentioned it on Torn Think Tank, and then that
Well, what
there's a
they
party
said?
happening. That there's just a party happening.
Did they say what the name of the party is?
Mm.
I'm saying it.
No,
I'm saying
don't-
it.
Don't.
This is on
The
Sal.
name of the party.
It's on
The
Sal.
name of the party
I'm
is
not
the
Pabst Blue
CTR
Ribbon.
It's a convert to raid party.
We are going back to our roots.
Convert to raid. We're calling it convert to raid.
I know nothing about this.
Because you were at PAX.
I disavow
It-
all
Over-
knowledge.
No. Cuddles is saying nothing about me, like saying
Oh.
that. But yeah, we're not going to be calling it well played anymore. We're going to call it convert to raid party because that's what we are. So it's a community event. Everyone it's kind of like, yeah, it's a guild event for sure. But obviously everyone's invited. You know, where well played is a great name, but some people got confused with it. So we're just, you know who we are. We're convert to raid. And this will be the 5th year that we have the party.
Because in 11 months is the CTR 5-year anniversary.
You are already thinking
What?
about that.
Well, it's 10 months now. 10 months.
What?
9 months. Actually 10 months today. 10 months today, we will officially be 5 years old.
That's crazy. All
I gotta
right.
think about this. It's my job. I've been thinking about this
I know.
CTR well played thing since like December. And Jules was like, Turarts, calm down. And I'm like, but Jules.
And with
But
us as we close out the show,
But
want to stick
Jules.
around as we close
Yeah.
out the show?
Yeah.
Are you in the in the show notes at all?
Yeah. I'll get in there.
All right. So yeah, Navox, you're good to go with the next thing.
I'm good to go. It's time for chat room shoutouts, guys. Gave you a little head start there in the Twitch channel. So give us or your best friends a shout out, and we will read them off on the show right now. And Sal, what do you got?
I think it's funny that you don't want to say the words and your worst puns.
That's right.
Because that's in the show notes. And last week you were reading it and you're like,
I
give us your best friends and your worst
I'm done.
puns.
I'm not
And
saying
we're-
that. No puns.
And so this week you go, give us your best friends
Nope.
and we will read them. Like you totally tripped on it last time. So I think that's funny that you skipped it. Yeah. Cuddles, I see your cursor bouncing around. You want to read that email that we
Yes.
got from our guests?
We have an email from Darkest. Sal, so it came to my attention that your show has reached 100 episodes. Congratulations. I just came back to WoW after my wife being very ill, and I love the community CTR provides. Thank you so much for everything you do. Hopefully I'll be back in the guild soon, and see you guys around. Again, congratulations, and can't wait for the next 100. Thank you again, Darkest.
You're the best, Cuddles. Turarts, you want to read this next one?
Yeah. Hi, fellow podcasters. This is Joe from Your Wow Money podcast with a bit of news. We will give away a $200 Amazon gift code on the 200th episode of the podcast. The details can be found on http://yourwowmoney.com/episode 1 or just 195 /. That link's going to be somewhere. Don't listen to how I read that. That link will be somewhere. But show 200 will be the last show. If you just want to send us audio, you can send it to joe@yourwowmoney.com. More news about Mai and Shins, one of the co-hosts, future of podcasting will be announced at a later date. I thank you for your time. I've got balls of steel.
Navox!
God darn dang nabbit. Joe. Navox.
You know what? I put this in the show notes. I didn't read. First of all, that last line, Navox wrote that to make Turart say it. But this thing that says right here, show 200 will be the last show.
Yes.
Your Wow Money
That's right. It's been going on for a long time.
And they have helped people
make money in
They're the
game.
only
Yes.
reason.
Gold.
Yeah, they're the only reason I
Yes.
have any gold.
Yep.
Right. That has been such a service, and they're giving away a $200 Amazon gift code to one lucky person. So you can go to yourwowmoney.com and you can find that. It happens to be yourwowmoney.com/195. But so if you're interested in a $200 gift code for Amazon, and we all use Amazon, that's great. But 200 show would be the last show. I didn't realize they're ending that. All right, Joe. Joe has a really great service for that. Navox, have you been looking at the chat room?
I have been. Yes, I have.
Hey, you're not
been.
up yet. You're not up yet. It's not your turn yet.
Okay, fine.
Okay, but I'm going to say this one from Twitter. Kaifen says, shout out to all the CTR officers for being approachable, helpful, and insightful to anyone who asks. Y'all are awesome. And shout out to all my guildies, the ones I know well, the ones I don't, and the ones I don't. Every day I see you talking and helping each other. Hearts. Oh, shout out to... Oh, this is from... no, this is the same. Oh, I don't know who it's from.
It's from Sinja.
Shout out to Brotherhood of Fire going 10 of 10 in Nighthold, and there's folks of the Saturday Night Alt-tastic Emerald Nightmare crew. You rock. Hashtag something with a P. I don't... Yeah. But this next one is from Sinja. And it says, shout out to HTX Raid Team for killing 2 new bosses last week and humoring me with the green transbog.
What is HTX, chat room? Chat room, what is HTX?
What is
Help us out with that.
HTX?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Anyway.
Oh, by the way, that one was from PK Geek Dad.
Nice.
The one that I hadn't copied part, but that now I'm all into the shout out to HTX. It's a raid team. That's all I know. So Navox, darling, wonderful person who have filled in for Belschnickel tonight, whom we very much appreciate.
Yeah.
Do you have the chat room shout outs?
We do. We've got Draven Dresden. Shout out to Sal for making me laugh in an email this week. Sal, what did you send Draven?
I sent, you know what I sent, Draven?
Nudes.
I did not send nudes.
No, that was confirmed in my chat room earlier today. I saw it.
I sent him nudes of cuddles.
Happened on the internet. It's going to be one of my Patreon rewards.
what I sent him
Oh
was
my
a
God.
recording of me saying, like, congratulations, la la la, because his show is reaching episode 100 very, very soon. It's the Epic Fail podcast. And our friend Draven Dresden is on that show. So, and I sent something. It wasn't that funny, but he wasn't expecting it. But yeah, so everyone, shout out to Epic Fail podcast and Draven Dresden
Awesome.
for episode 100. It's not yet, but in a few weeks.
Right. Well, we also have Hexibel in chat. Shout out to Turarts for that amazing hat. We've got Sin the Dreamer. Shout out to Kleptic for tanking all my bad BRH keystones. You know what? I know a guild event that would be awesome is to get Kleptic on the show. We've been trying to get Kleptic on the show forever.
Listen, I've tried. He won't come.
He just won't
tried.
come. I know.
Kleptic is the nicest guy. And just funny and cool. And we lived very close to each other in Texas. And I didn't realize it. And then I left Texas because of New York. So yeah, but he comes to BlizzCon every year and he's just the greatest. He really is. So I'm going to do this again. I've done it before.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone who knows Kleptic, get him to come on the podcast.
Yeah. Get him to he's been one of the original members of Convert to Raid.
Yeah, he's an OG person.
Yeah.
And he is just lovely. And he helps people out. You're talking about doing someone's keystones that you don't want to do. Yeah, I mean, obviously he's a super awesome raider. You know, he's part of Convert to Mythic. But yeah. So let's just talk really nice about Kleptic forever.
Persuade him with niceness.
We got one more chat room shout out from Zeph. Shout out to my new puppy. So the new puppy Harley for being a new raiding buddy. So it's all fun when you have pets while you're playing WoW. I can attest to that.
Zeph, you got to bring the new puppy to the next meetup. You like to
and last one, Ashank at the last second. Thanks to Macus and Tamen for making the progression trackers. Yeah,
for real.
But that's it for the chat room shout outs. So Sal, what do you got for your personal shout outs? Paps Blue Ribbon people. That's awesome. Like Cuddles, what do you got?
To Paps PBR. Yes, Cuddles.
First and foremost, huge shout out to anybody and everybody that supported me, got me to, hugged me, saw me, or said something nice, like to tweet, retweeted it, anything about PAX East this weekend. I know I had a lot of CTR people drop by my my stream on Saturday. I knew that I was raiding. I'm like all in WoW mode. I knew that I was streaming from the floor, and it's an off day for me. So like nobody's used to me going live, and a developer asked me to stream a game that I love, and I was terrified. And Sal didn't come.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
I follow you and everything.
No, all my tweets, the fact that I was talking about it for like a week, and I there was people.
I didn't know you were
streaming. It was a thing. I streamed
on Saturday
and Sunday from the floor at PAX East, and you weren't there. It was a moment that we'll never be able to share together again. Outside of that, huge shout out to Rubber Chicken Coalition. I have not been there in quite some time, but I still get messages. I still pop in the Discord and talk to those guys, and I know that anytime that I want to show up, I can pop on a Tuesday night, and my schedule is going to be changing. I should be doing that more often. So raiding is going to come back. Raiding is going to come back for, yeah.
Awesome.
Wow, that's a great, I just saw that. Never mind. Keep on going. Belschnickel is not here, so he will not be doing any.
Let's do T.
How about
T, what do you got for shout outs?
Shout out to my event planners for being awesome. You guys are still kicking it for having events out there. That was my dog. Shout out to Sal, because we are still 2 weeks later getting amazing reviews from the video that you did. So yeah, you should definitely check out episode 100 if you haven't. Yeah, that's, I think, and shout out to the community because y'all have been great. So general community shout out.
Yeah.
Right on. Nav?
Yeah, I got a big shout out to my raid team. We're finally back and kicking butt in game. It's awesome. Yeah, it's really fun. I'm actually trying to put together a little video of all of our, because I have recordings of our raid team. Like I recorded like a weird stalker, and it was funny listening to the guys as their voices developed over the past 3 years. Like I have voices of the guys and they're like, and now it's like dropped. It's crazy. But yeah, shout out to the raid team. Shout out to you guys, for having me back on the show this week, filling in for Bell. We'll be back on probably next show. But yeah, that's about it for me. So Cuddles.
Guys, that is going to wrap us up for this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in these past 4 years and making our community so damn special. If you're listening to this show on iTunes or Stitcher, take a few moments and give us a thumbs up or write us a review and tell us how we are doing. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the thumbs up, leave us a comment, and subscribe. If you would like to join us live, look us up on twitch.tv/convertedpodcast. Sal, how can these wonderful, fantastic, amazing, cuddly, lovely, wonderful people come on this show?
Well, we are looking for raid leaders. We'd love to hear from about your team, and if you want to, if you want to recruit more people, email us at convertedpodcast@gmail.com. That's convertedpodcast@gmail.com. We'd really like to talk about your team. The next episode is Monday, April 3rd. Okay, Anisha will be here to talk about iTunes. Now, iTunes is the very, very, very first convert to raid raid team. If you remember from way back when, this was before the guild even existed, and before Asparagus Initiative even. So we're going to talk about iTunes, which is still going strong. A few weeks later, by the way, 112 is going to be here 2 weeks later.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was really excited when he emailed us. So we've got some shows planned.
Yay.
Hey, guys, that is going to do it for this week. Everybody say bye.
Bye.
Bye.